What's cracking, everybody? And by the way, if you might have noticed, I have a different name and different profile picture on my YouTube channel. I'll talk about that later. I don't really feel like talking about it right now. It's not like, I just don't really. This is a different video because I need to get on this. I thought I had to get on this at least as soon as possible before it completely dies out. So I just thought I would give my take on the whole iDubbbz thing. And I might make this a series too, where I just like talk about recent events, not really trying to make like a good video, just kind of just giving my thoughts, and not really trying to make like a big deal out of it, because it really isn't that big of a deal. But let's get into it. So I can, with the whole iDubbbz thing, it was originally just people pretty much just making jokes, but after the response, people got a little bit more angry because he basically just singled out like a bunch of people, which I think's a little messed up. You shouldn't really do that, especially to your own fans. Like, I understand, obviously, if they're your fans, you're not just gonna like suck up to them the whole time. Obviously, like, if you have a fan that's doing something that you don't like, you should be able to tell them that. You should be able to let them know that you don't like what they're doing, with whether it involves you or not. You can still voice your opinion about these kind of people and that kind of stuff, But those people weren't really doing anything wrong, exactly. Because like all they were doing, because think about like the reputation he built up. He made like videos where he he literally has videos of him pulling out dildos of boxes, getting coyote urine. He has videos of him constantly saying the N-word and saying faggot. And I don't care about that. I find it funny. But I'm just saying, that's the man that we're talking about. That is the same guy who has a girlfriend selling her nudes online. I'm just saying, it seems very different. Seems like a shift. And I think people only really got mad over this simp thing because of the content recently. I think the whole OnlyFans thing simply fueled the fire, because if you look at his newer content from like the past year or so, it really hasn't been the same. Ever since he really started doing the squirrel videos, he's just kind of been going downhill, in my opinion. Because, I mean, think about it. He had things like Content Cop, Kickstarter crap, Bad Unboxing. He had that one series where he went through, like, lockers and stuff for a little bit. That was even still entertaining. And obviously, you're allowed to, like, go in different paths. You're allowed to do new series and new type of content. I mean, that's probably what I might do. I don't know. You're allowed to do things differently from what people exactly like want from you, like what the demand is, what the popular thing is. Because obviously it can suck if you kind of feel like there's only one series that you're like really good at, or like only a few videos that you're good at. Because that just makes you feel like you have to do those, and so it's just kind of. But at the same time, I don't really think. I'm not judging the newer content, like, in comparison of the older content. I'm simply just watching it and seeing how I like it. And I'm just saying, he made a video complaining about peanuts. Well, and the video was like 10 minutes. It wasn't very entertaining. I mean, it was kind of interesting, I guess, in the same way that, like, reading a book at school for, like, English class or something is, like, it's like, oh, it's not that bad of a book, but it's like, you would rather watch something else, or, well, do something else, It's, it's just not really enjoyable, I mean, how good can a video about peanuts really be? I'm just saying, but, I mean, he made, like I said, the peanut thing. He talked about people on TikTok. It wasn't even just like making fun of TikToks. It was making fun of ones that just said how to get money in it. That was also for like 13 minutes. Again, not very entertaining. He made a fast food tier list or whatever. That wasn't really, you know, very entertaining. I mean, I could keep saying it's just very entertaining, but you get the point at this point. You get the point. For the past year or so, he has done pretty much nothing that we've gotten used to him doing. He's pretty much done like a 180 on his whole like internet personality, and it's just kind of weird to see, and I can understand why some fans are a little mad with that. And it just kind of I guess people just kind of started noticing after the peanut video, which at the same time was very close to the whole simp thing. So it just kind of just not very good timing, really. Yeah, with everything going on, you know, with the fans already kind of like being not very happy with his content, or his newer content at least, but they weren't really like speaking it out, and this whole like OnlyFans drama kind of just gave them the opportunity to speak that out. And I think that's where most of the anger comes from, and not just the OnlyFans. Because really, before he made the response video, before he made it, he lost to no subscribers, pretty much. And the only things that were happening with the whole simp thing was pretty much just jokes, except for the people that were like really into it, which I can understand. Well, I mean, I don't really do it, but like people get really attached to the content, whether for one reason or another. But so I can see that happening, but I don't think it really happens that often. So I don't know, but I'm just saying you kind of have to expect that when you're like a bigger YouTuber or something, you know, because I mean, it's just kind of a thing that's gonna happen. But so, you know, that's how it do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really think there's anything else to really say about it. Kind of over-exaggerated with the amount of time I talked about it. It really just boils down to his newer content isn't good, and the simp thing also happened, and people are making jokes about it, but it just, timing was very poorly. Well, I mean, obviously he didn't like plan this, but you know, just how everything worked out was not Nightup's favor at all. Now, you might be wondering whether I do think he's a simp or not, because I see some people trying to argue that he's a pimp instead. He's not a pimp. No, he is completely a simp. I understand their jokes and stuff, but let's be real, he is a simp. There's no way to get around that. He just is. Well, okay, well, he's not exactly a simp. That's not really the definition of the word, exactly. But I really feel he's in the wrong a little bit. So I think this whole situation is just garbage, and we should just leave it alone. And his girlfriend is a whole other can of worms I don't even want to talk about, because she's done some wacky-tacky stuff, so I'm not even gonna touch on that right now. But for the most part, iDubbbz, you're a simp, and yeah, take that as you will. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video and me kind of returning, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Anyways, bye.